Lesson 13. Bet Setup and Payout Procedures. Place bet setup positions. Let's say, for example, that all players make a place bet of $10 on the number 5. Corresponding place bet booking and setup positions. From stick to base, the order place bets should be set up by the base dealer. When possible, would be called out by the dealer as follows. $10 5, next to stick. $10 5, 2 from stick. $10 5, 3 from stick. $10 5, 4 from stick, or on the hook. $10 5, 4 from me, or on the hook. $10 5, 3 from me, or straight out. $10 5, 2 from me, or straight out. $10 5, next to me. Combat number, set up positions. Let's say, for example, each player puts a $10 combat in the come area of the layout, and number 8 is rolled. Corresponding combat number setup positions from stick to base would be set up by the base dealer as follows. $10 coming next to stick. $10 coming 2 from stick. $10 coming 3 from stick. $10 coming 4 from stick, or on the hook. $10 coming 4 from me, or on the hook. $10 coming 3 from me, or straight out. $10 coming 2 from me, or straight out. $10 coming next to me. Combat odds on 8 setup positions. Again, let's say, for example, each player puts $25 for odds in the come area of the layout for their number 8 combat. Corresponding combat odds on 8 setup positions from stick to base would be called out and set up by the base dealer as follows. Odds looks like 25, next to stick. Odds looks like 25, 2 from stick. Odds looks like 25, 3 from stick. Odds looks like 25, 4 from stick, or on the hook. Odds looks like 25, 4 from me, or on the hook. Odds looks like 25, 3 from me, or straight out. Odds looks like 25, 2 from me, or straight out. Odds looks like 25, next to me. DC bet number, setup positions. Let's say, for example, each player has put a $10 DC bet in the DC area of the layout, and number 10 is rolled. Corresponding DC bet setup positions from stick to base would be called out and set up by the base dealer as follows. $10 DC, next to stick. $10 DC, 2 from stick. $10 DC, 3 from stick. $10 DC, 4 from stick, or on the hook. $10 DC, 4 from me, or on the hook. $10 DC, 3 from me, or straight out. $10 DC, 2 from me, or straight out. $10 DC, next to me. DC lays on the 10 setup positions. DC lays on the numbers and on the don't pass line should always be heeled off to the left of the flat bet. With 8 DC bets and 8 DC lays, it would be necessary to expand the DC number bet area and probably put the DC lays next to the flat bets. For illustration purposes, let's leave the DC bets for the player next to stick and the player next to base. Now, let's say that both players put $60 lays for the 10 in the DC area of the layout. Corresponding DC lays would be called out and set up from stick to base by the base dealer as follows. Laying 60, next to stick. Laying 60, next to me. Place bet payouts. If 5 rolls, place bets are paid out in the same order they were set up, from stick to base, and the dealer must call out the payouts out loud and clear before paying, while listening for the players who want to press their bet or may want their bet taken down with the payout. For example, the dealer will call out 14 same bet, or calls out 15 for 1 same bet, throw me $1. When the dealer calls out 15 for 1, the player must throw in $1 to the dealer for the $15 payout. If the player answers yes or doesn't respond, the bet is paid. Otherwise, the dealer by request will press the bet or take it down according to the player's request. Place bet payouts from stick to base might be as follows. 15 for 1 same bet. 14 same bet. 15 for 1 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 same bet. Combats and combat odds payouts. Now, let's say for illustration purposes that the player 2 from stick has a new $10 combat and player 3 from base has a new $25 come bet in the come area of the layout. Next, the 8 is rolled, and all come bets and come bet odds on 8 win and are paid in order, from stick to base. The base dealer will call out and pay the come bets by cutting out the payout in the come area of the layout, picking up the come bet and odds on 8, and placing them side by side in the come area nearest the player, with the payout heeled off as follows: off for 4T. Off and on for 4T. Notice, this player's come bet is not picked up because the player has a new come bet equal to the come bet flat amount already on 8. Off for 4T. Off for 4T. Off for 4T. Off for 4T on 425. Notice, this player's come bet is picked up and paid because the player's new come bet is not equal to the previous come bet flat amount. Off for 4T. Off for 4T. DC and DC lay payouts. If 7 out 7 is rolled, all place bets and come bets lose, and all DCs and lays on the numbers win and are paid from stick to base. To illustrate the correct procedure for payouts on these bets, let's say that the players on the DC 10 have the same bets on DC 5 and DC 8. The bet payouts are paid out as follows: 60 gets 40 and 10 next to stick. 60 gets 40 and 10 next to base. 60 gets 50 and 10 next to stick. 60 gets 50 and 10 next to base. 60 gets 30 and 10 next to stick. 60 gets 30 and 10 next to base. Step 1. The dealer picks up all bets and payouts for the player next to stick, touches the DC area with the chips, and hands off the payout directly in front of the player, heeled off to denote no action. Step 2. The dealer picks up all bets and payouts for the player next to base, touches the DC area with the chips, and hands off the payout directly in front of the player, heeled off to denote no action. Pass line and pass line odds payouts. Pass line and pass line odds are taken and paid with both hands by the dealer, from base to stick. Let's say, for example, the point is 9. Each player has $10 on the pass line and $20 odds. 9 is rolled for a front line winner 9. Dealer payouts while sounding off would be as follows: 20 gets 30 and 10. 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 Don't pass and don't pass lay payouts. Don't pass and don't pass lays are taken and paid by the dealer from base to stick. Let's say, for example, the point is 6. The player next to stick and the player 3 from base both have $10 flat bets on the don't pass. Also, both players have $30 lays heeled off to the left of their flat bets. Now, 7 out 7 is rolled. Dealer payouts from base to stick while sounding off would be as follows: 30 gets 25, 10 on the flat. 30 gets 25, 10 on the flat. Come bets in the come area of the layout. Come bets in the come area of the layout when even money, if 7 or 11 rolls, on point number rolls. Come bets are paid from stick to base, allowing the box person to view the payouts. Come bets are paid by the dealer with both hands. Let's say, for example, each player has $10 in the come area of the layout, as shown. Now 11 is rolled. Dealer payouts would be as follows: DC bets in the DC area of the layout. DC bets in the DC area of the layout when even money, if 2 or 3 rolls, on point number rolls. DC bets are paid from stick to base, allowing the box person to view the payouts. DC bets are paid by the dealer with both hands. Let's say, for example, each player has $10 in the DC area of the layout, as shown. The point is 6. And 3 craps 3 is rolled. Dealer payouts would be as follows: Field bets. Field bets are paid by the dealer with both hands, from stick to base, allowing the box person to view the payouts. Let's say, for example, each player has $10 in the field bet area of the layout. The point is 6, and 4 is rolled. Dealer payouts would be as follows. Common terms for place bets. 32. Inside place bets. Let's say the player next to stick throws $32 on the layout and says 32 inside. If the point number is 6, this means the player wants place bets of $10 on the 5, $12 on the 8, and $10 on the 9. Dealer would set up the bet as follows. Inside place bets is referring to place bets on 5, 6, 8, and 9, usually excluding any point number. Outside place bets is referring to place bets on 4, 5, 9, and 10, usually excluding any point number. Up-down place bets is referring to place bets on 6, 8, 9, and 10, usually excluding any point number. Down-down place bets is referring to place bets on 4, 5, 6, and 8, usually excluding any point number. Across place bets is referring to place bets on 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10, usually excluding any point number. Some common terms for proposition bets are as follows. Big Red or 87 bet. Boxcars or 12 bet. Snake Eyes bet. World bet. Yo bet on 11. High low bet. Horn bet. Any craps bet. C&E bet. Horn high 2 bet. Hard 6 bet.